Standard English, Term 1, Unit 2, Prose 2, The Wind on the Haunted Hill. So today we are going to see the new lesson. So we'll go for the lesson now. Hoo, cried the wind as it swept down from the Himalayan snows. It hurried over the hills and passes and hummed and moaned in the tall pines and deodas. Hoo, cried the wind as it swept down the Himalayan snows. So here in the Himalayan, near the Himalayan mountains, the sound of the wind cried hoo. It gives a sound as hoo. It hurried over the hills and passes and hummed and moaned in the tall pines and deodas. So here in the picture you can see there, near the mountains you can see the pine trees. When the wind passes over the hills, the hummed and the moaned in the tall pines and deodas. The sound and the pine trees are moving here and there. On Haunted Hill, there was little to stop the wind. Only a few stunted trees and bushes and the ruins of what had once been a small settlement. On Haunted Hill, there was a little to stop the wind, only a few stunted trees. So more trees are there means the wind will come slowly. If stop the wind, only a few stunted trees. So only the few trees are stopping the wind and the bushes and the ruins of what had once been a small settlement. So ruins means the destroyed places or the destroyed buildings or something is called the ruins. Once the slope of the next hill, there was a small village. People kept large stores on their tin roofs to prevent them from blowing away. There was nearly always a wind in these parts. Even on sunny days, doors and windows rattled, chimney shook, and clothes blew away. So, on the slope of the next hill, there was a small village. So, after in the picture also you can see on the slope, the next hill. So, in the next hill, you can see a small village. So, people will keep large stones on their roof. So, to prevent them from blowing away. So, the roof you can see in the sheet and all, sheet houses and all, you can notice that when the wind is blowing heavily, so the roofs will pass away. The wind will throw the roofs away. So now most probably the roofs house are not there, so we cannot see, but in the past days and all, more roofs house will be there, sheet houses. So that sheet houses, once the wind is blowing heavily, the roofs will pass away. There was nearly a wind in these parts. So mostly in the hilly areas, there will be more winds. Even on sunny days, doors and windows rattled and chimney shook and clothes blew away. Even in the sunny summer days also, doors and windows will be rattled, means it is closing and opening fastly. Chimney shook and clothes blew away. So they can't dry the clothes also. They have to put the clip or they have to keep the heavy stones. 3 children stood beside a low stone wall, spreading the cloths out to dry. On each garment they placed a rock. Even then the clothes fluttered like flats and pennants. So here you can see these 3 children are standing near the low stone, means like a compound wall it is, spreading the cloths to dry. They are making their cloths to dry. Each garment they placed a rock. So they are keeping the rocks on the garments. Then also the cloths are fluttering like a flags. Usha, the dark-haired and rose-cheeked, struggled with her grandfather's long loose shirt. She was 11 or 12. Her younger brother Suresh was doing his best to hold down a bedsheet, while Binya, a slightly older girl, Usha's friend and neighbor, was handing them the clothes one at a time. So here the girl standing here in the pink dress was her name is Usha. She is having her grandfather's long loose shirt. So you can see here long loose shirt. She is only 11 or 12. Her younger brother Suresh was doing his best to hold down the bedsheet while Binya. So here the small brother, you can see here, he is holding the bedsheet. His name is Suresh. So the pink dress girl name is Usha and the boy brother name is Suresh. He is holding the bedsheet. And here another one girl in the middle, we can see here his name is Binya, a slightly older girl. Usha's friend and neighbor was handing them the clothes one at a time. So she is also helping. She is a neighbor and also a friend of Usha, Binya. She is also holding the cloths and she is also helping them. Once they were sure everything was on the wall firmly, they held by rocks. So once they are making the cloths to dry, they are putting on them on the wall and they are making sure that they are keeping the rocks on the cloths. They climbed up the flat stone and sat there for a while in the wind and the sun, staring across the fields at the ruins on Haunted Hill. So once they are confirmed whether they have kept the stones on the cloths, they are climbing up on the flat stone. So they are sitting on the flat stone and they are seeing the wind and the sun staring across the fields. So they are watching the ruins of the Haunted Hill and they are watching the wind, how it comes and goes. I must go to the bazaar today, said Usha. Usha is telling, I want to go to the bazaar today. I wish I could come too, said Binya, but I have to help with the cows and the housework. Mother isn't well. So as Usha is telling, she has to go to the bazaar. Binya, her friend, she is telling, I too want to come to the bazaar, but I want to help to the cows and doing the housework because her mother is not feeling well. I can come, said Suresh. He was always ready to visit the bazaar, which was 3 miles away on the other side of Haunted Mill. So then Suresh is telling to Usha that he is also ready to come to the bazaar. The bazaar is 3 miles away from the other side of the Haunted Hill. So that hill is, we saw now in the previous picture, the bazaar is 3 miles away from the hill. No, you can't, said Usha. You must help grandfather chop wood. So she is telling, no, you don't want to come there because you want to help grandfather to cut the wood. Grandfather is in the army, posted in a distant part of the country, and Suresh and his grandfather were the only men in the house. Suresh was 8, chubby and almond-eyed. So Usha and Suresh are brother and sister. Their father is in the army and he is not here, he is distant part of the country. So only Suresh and his grandfather were the men in the house. And Suresh is only 8, chubby and almond-eyed. Won't you be afraid to come back alone? He asked. Why should I be afraid? There are ghosts on the hill. I know, but I will be back before it gets dark. Ghosts won't appear during the day. There are many ghosts in the ruins, asked Binya. So they are telling, Suresh is asking to Usha, will not be afraid to come back alone because she is going alone. If she goes alone, will not be afraid, he is asking. Then Usha is telling, why should I afraid? He is again telling, there are ghosts on the hill. He is telling that there are many ghosts on the hill. I know, but I will be back before it gets dark. Ghosts won't appear during the day. So she is telling, before it gets dark, before the night, I will come back. So ghosts will not come during the daytime. Then Binya is asking, are there many ghosts in the ruins? Ruins means destroyed places destroyed places or building something which has been destroyed fully. So she is asking whether there are many ghosts in the ruins. Grandfather says so. He says that many years ago, over 100 years ago, English people lived on the hill. It was a bad spot, always getting struck by lightning, and they have to move to the next range and build another place. So grandfather says many years ago, before 100 years ago, in the hills, English people lived there, and that time was very bad because we all know that in the hill region mostly more rains and lightning and thunder, everything will come. So he is telling that always getting struck by lightning, and each time something will happen and they have to go to the next place and build another one. But if they went away, why should be there any guest? They are asking a ghost. They are asking if they are going away and they are going to the new place, means why there may be any ghost. Because grandfather says during a terrible storm, one of the house was hit by lightning and everyone in it was killed, everyone including the children. Then as they are asking, everyone went no, then how the ghost will be there, they are asking. So because she is telling, because grandfather has said before itself to Usha, he is telling that during the terrible storm, one day when like the same climate, one house was hit by the lightning. So lightning has come and everyone in the house was killed. because it was the house completely was ruined, everyone including the children. So including the small children, everybody has dead. Were there many children? They are asking. There was many children. There were two of them, brother and sister. Grandfather says he has seen them many times when he has passed through the ruins last at night. He has seen them playing in the moonlight. So he is telling two children were there, brother and sister, and grandfather is telling that he has seen them many times in the ruins, in the destroyed place late at night. If it becomes late, 12, 1 like that, he has seen them and they were playing in the moonlight. In the moonlight they were playing. Wasn't he frightened? Then she is asking to Usha, grandfather will not be afraid. No, old people don't mind seeing ghost. So she is telling that no, old people will never mind of seeing the ghost. Usha set out her walk to the bazaar at 2 in the afternoon. It was about an hour's walk. She went through the fields, now turning yellow with flowering mustard, then along the saddle on the hill and up to the ruins. So Usha started to walk. It was 2 in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was about an hour to walk. So she has to go and walk another 1 hour. She went through the fields, now turning yellow with flowering mustards. So now the climate turns yellow, means it is becoming evening. And along saddle on the hill and up to the ruins. So she's when she was nearing to the ruins, it is becoming evening. The path went straight through the ruins. Usha knew it well. She had often taken it while going to the bazaar, to the weekly shopping, or to see her aunt who lived in the town. She know that she is passing through the ruins place only, and Usha knew it well. She often taken it while going to the bazaar, to the weekly shopping. So weekly when she is going to that side or to see her aunt in the town, she often goes by that side only. While the flowers grew in the crumbling walls, a wild plum tree grew straight out of the floor and what had once been a large hall. Its softened white blossom had begun to fall. Lizards scuttled over the stone while a whistling thrush, its deep purple plumage glistening in the soft sunshine, sat in an empty window and sang its heart out. You all know when the climate is very rainy, some sounds will come, flowers will crumble, and something it will not be like a normal. Since it is a hilly area, it will be very abnormal only. Usha sang to herself as she tripped lightly along the path. Soon she had left the ruins behind. The path dipped steeply down to the valley and the little town with its straggling bazaar. So since she was going alone, she started to sing a song, and she stepped slightly along the path. When she is going to the path, she started to sing because she is feeling lonely. Soon she had left the ruins behind. Then she has crossed the place, the ruined place. The path dipped steeply down to the valley and the little town with the straggling bazaar. So she is now going to near to the bazaar. Usha took her time in the bazaar. She bought soap and matches, spices and sugars. None of these things would be had in the village where there was no shop. And a new pipe stem for her grandfather's hookah and an exercise book for Suresh to do his sums in. As an afterthought, she bought him some marbles. Then she went to the mochi's shop to have her mother's slippers repaired. The mochi was busy, so she left the slippers with him and said he would back in half an hour. So now she has went to the bazaar. She bought soap and matches, spices and sugar. Since it is a small village, there is no shop. She has to buy everything, whatever is needed in the bazaar only. And a new pipe stem for her grandfather's hookah. So she has bought a new pipe stem for her grandfather also, and an exercise book for Suresh to do his sums in. And for his grandfather, she has bought a pipe stem and exercise book for Suresh to do the sums. As an afterthought, she bought him some marbles. Then she thought that since he is a small boy, she thought that he might play with the marbles. So she has bought some marbles for him. Then she went to the mochi shop to have her mother's slippers repaired. Then she went to the mochi shop, means the shoes and chappals repairing shop. She went to Mochi shop to have her mother's slippers repaired. Mochi was busy, so she left the slippers with him and she said that she'll be back in an hour. So she said that since he is busy, she told that she asked him to repair the slippers and she told she'll come back in an hour. She had 2 rupees of her own saved up and she used the money to buy herself a necklace of amber colored beads and an old Tibetan lady who sold charms and trinkets from a tiny shop at the end of the bazaar. So she had 2 rupees for her own self and she wanted to buy a necklace and some toys also in the end of the bazaar. Usha met her aunt Lakshmi, who took her home for a tea. Then she has met her aunt Lakshmi. She took her to her home for tea. Usha spent an hour in Aunt Lakshmi's little flat above the shops, listening to her aunt talk about the ache in her left shoulder and stiffness in her joint. She drank 2 cups of sweet hot tea. And when she looked out of the window, she saw that dark clouds are gathered over the mountains. Then when she went to aunt's house, it is in the little flat above the shop. She is living in a flat and the aunt was telling to her about her ache in the left shoulder and stiffness in her joint. Then since listening to these stories from her aunt, she has drink 2 cup of teas. And then she looked out of the window. She saw the dark clouds are gathered over the mountains. She saw that again it is going to be rainy. The dark clouds she has seen. Usha ran to the cobbler's and collected her mother's slippers. The shopping bag was full. She slung it over her shoulders and set out for the village. Then again she ran to the cobbler and collected the mother's slipper. The shopping bag was fully filled. She slung it over her shoulder and set out for the village. She held it in her shoulder and she moved out to the village. Strangely, the wind had dropped. The trees were still, not a leaf moved. The crickets were silent in grass. The crows flew round in a circle, then settled down for the night in an oak tree. Then when she was going, the strange wind has come. The trees were still, not a leaf moved. It was fully covered. The cricket also very silent. No sounds were there. The crows flew around in a circle, then settled down for the night in an oak tree. Since it is becoming a night, the crows also didn't flew. It settled in a oak tree. I must get home before dark, said Usha to herself as she hurried along the path. But already the sky was darkening. The clouds, black and threatening, looked over the haunted hill. This was March, the month of storms. So she is telling herself that since it is becoming dark, she has to go house. So she is hurrying in the path. But already the sky was it was dark only. So normally in the summer season after 6:30 it is getting dark, means in the rainy season 4:35 itself it will get dark. The clouds black and threatening looked over the haunted hill. So she can see that the clouds were very much black and it is threatening her. This was March, the month of storm. The deep rumble echoed over the hills and Usha felt the first heavy drop of rain hit her cheek. So the echo of the sound, the wind is blowing and she can feel the heavy drop of rain hit her cheek. So it is starting to rain. She had no umbrella with her. The weather had seemed so fine just a few hours ago. Now all she could do was tie an old scarf over her head and pull her shawl tight across her shoulders, holding the shopping bag close to her body. She quickened her pace. She was almost running, but the raindrops were coming down faster now. Big, heavy paplets of rain. She has no umbrellas with her. The weather is coming. The weather before, when she was getting ready to the bazaar, the weather was okay at that time, but now it has more dark. She had nothing to do, only an old scarf. Then she rounded her head with an old scarf, and she started to hold the shopping bag close to her body, and she started walking fastly. Almost she is like a running. But the raindrops were coming down faster, and the raindrops also started to rain faster. The heavy drops of rain is coming now. A sudden flash of lightning lit up the hill. The ruins stood out in a clear outline. Then all was dark again. Night had fallen. Then again it is lightning. So in the hilly region, as before I said, the thunder and the lightning will be heavy during the rainy season. So the lightning was lit up in the hill. So in the ruins stood clear in the outline. So the destroyed area is seen very in the lightning. In that light she can see the clearly the places of the ruined places. Then also then all was dark again. Again it was dark again. The night had fallen. The night has come. I won't get home before the storm breaks, thought Usha. I have to shelter in the ruins. She could only see a few feet ahead, but she knew the paths well, and she began to run. She is thinking that the storm has break, and the Usha is thinking, she thought that she has to shelter in the destroyed place ruins only. She could only see a few feet ahead, but she knew the path well, and she began to run. She know only few steps have to keep, but she know the path, and she started to run. Suddenly the wind sprang up again and brought the rain with a rush against her face. It was cold, stinging rain. She could hardly keep her eyes open. The wind has come fastly. The rain has also, as when the rain has come, we can't see clearly. The eyes will be shrink. It was cold, stinking rain. So it is very cold. She can't open her eyes, even though she is opening her eyes and running. The wind grew in force. It hummed and whistled. Usha did not have to fight against it. It was behind her now and helped her along up the steep path, and now to the brow of the hill. The wind is coming very forcefully. It is coming as a sound, whiz 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 sound as it is coming. So she thought she has to fight, and she has to go, and she is going faster. There was another flash of lightning, followed by the peal of thunder. The ruins looked up before her, grim and forbidding. So another one lightning is coming, followed by the peal of thunder, and also the lightning. She can see the destroyed places, and she is moving fast. She knew there was a corner where a piece of old roof remained. It would give some shelter. It would be the better than trying to go on in the dark, in the howling wind. She had only to stay off the path to go over a rocky cliff edge. She has seen an old roof. Only the roof was there. She is thinking that instead of going in the rain, she is thinking that she can stay in the corner of the shelter. Ooh, cooled the wind. She saw the wild plum tree swaying, bent double, its foliage thrashing against the ground. The broken walls did little to stop the wind. Then the wind is coming, blowing very fastly. The trees are also waving, bending and waving very much. The broken walls did little to stop the wind. The broken walls only is making the winds to come more faster, because it has broken and the walls are there, no? So it is making the wind to blow. Usha found her way into the ruined building, helped by her memory of the place and constant flicker of lightning. She began moving along the wall, hoping to reach the shelter corner. She placed her hands flat against the stones and moved sideways. Her hand touched something soft and furry. She gave a slaughtered cry and took her hand away. Her cry was answered by another cry, half snarl, half screech, and something leaped away in the darkness. So when she saw a ruined building there, she thought that instead of going away, we can settle down in that place. So she can't move in the open place. So she is touching the wall, and she is moving against the shelter. While touching and moving, she can feel something soft and furry. When she is touching that soft and furry thing, she can hear a startled cry against her hand away. When she took the hand away, a small cry was coming. It was nothing but a cat. It was only a wild cat. Usha realized this when she heard it. The cat lived in the ruins and she had often seen it. But for a moment she had been very frightened. Now she moved quickly along the walls until she heard the ruins running on the remnant of the tin roof. Then it is nothing but a wild cat. She realized that when she heard it. But the cat, she has seen the wild cat in the ruined place, and she has often seen it also. But when the moment she touched it, she was frightened. Now she moved quickly along the wall to the ruined place, to the shelter. Once under it, crouching in the corner, she found some shelter from the wind and the rain. Above her, the tin sheet groaned and clattered as if they would sail away at any moment, but they were held down by the solid branch of the straggling old oak tree. So when she is moving, the wind is coming and the rain is also heavy. Above her, the tin sheets groaned and clattered as if they would sail away at any moment. So she went and stood under the tin sheets, but they were held down by a solid branch on a old tree oak. It is giving support. The old oak tree is giving support to the tin sheets. Usha remembered that across this empty room stood an old fireplace, and that there might be some shelter under the blocked up chimney. Perhaps it would be drier than it was in the corner, but she would not attempt to find it just now. She might lose her way altogether. Since she is standing here and there and doing everything, she is thinking that she might have forgot her way. Her clothes were soaked and the water streamed down from her long black hair to form a puddle at her feet. She stamped her feet to keep them warm. She thought she heard a faint cry. Was it the cat again or an owl? But the sound of the storm blotted out all other sounds. So again she is hearing a sound. She don't know whether again it is a cat or owl, but the wind sound is blocking all the other sound. There had been no time to think of ghost, but now that she was in one place without any plans for venturing out again, she remembered grandfather's story about the lightning blasted ruins. She hoped and prayed that lightning would not strike her as she sheltered here. So she was thinking about the ghost and the grandfather's story. So she started to pray to the God that she would not hopped by the lightning as she was sheltered there. Thunder boomed over the hills and the lightning came quicker now, only a few seconds between each burst of lightning. So thunder is booming over the hills and lightning is coming quicker and quicker. A few seconds, the lightning also is bursting. Then there was a bigger flash than most, and for a second or two the entire ruin was lit up. A streak of blue sizzled along the floor of the building, in at one end and out of the other. Usha was staring straight ahead. As the opposite wall was lit up, she saw crouching in the disused fireplace two small figures. They could only have been children. So when she is going here and there, lightning is coming and she can see the opposite wall, two small figures. She is thinking that only those two children. The ghost figures looked up and staring back at Usha. And then everything was dark again. She is thinking that the figures was only two ghosts staring at Usha, and then again everything was becoming dark. Usha's heart was in her mouth. She had seen without a shadow of doubt two ghost creatures at the other side of the room. She wasn't going to remain in that ruined building a minute longer. So her heart started to beat fast. She had seen without a shadow of doubt, without doubt she has seen two ghost creatures on the other side of the room, and she think that she would not remain there in that ruined building a minute longer. So she thought that she would go fast. She ran out of her corner, ran towards a big gap in the wall through which she had entered. She was halfway across the open space when someone fell against her. She stumbled, got up, and again bumped into something. She gave a frightened scream. Someone else screamed. And then there was a shout, a boy's shout, and Usha instantly recognized the voice. Then when she is going here and there, she saw she is frightening, and she gave a shout, and a boy's shout also is there. Then she recognized the voice. Suresh, Usha, Binya, it's me, it's you, it's us. Then they fell into each other's arms, so surprised and relieved that all they could do was laugh and giggle and repeat each other's names. So it was nothing but only Usha and Suresh, Usha and Binya. Then Usha said, I thought you were ghost. We thought you were ghost, said Suresh. Suresh told that he thought that she was ghost, and Usha thought that they both were the ghost. They huddled together in the corner, chatted excitedly. So they all were excited to see like that because they were frightened. When it grew dark, we came looking for you, said Binya, and then the storm broke. So Binya is telling it was dark, so we came to search you. Shall we run back together? Asked Usha. I don't want to stay here any longer. So Usha is telling, can we go fast because we don't want to stay here any longer. We have to wait, said Binya. The path was fallen away at one place. It won't be safe in the dark in all this rain. So she is telling, no, we'll wait here because it is very dark and the rain is coming. So we'll wait for here. Then we may have to wait till morning, said Suresh. I am feeling hungry. Then Suresh is telling, then we have to wait till morning, and also I am feeling very hungry. The wind and rain continued, and so did the thunder lightning, but they were not afraid now. They gave each other warmth and confidence. Even the ruins did not seem so forbidding. So the wind and rain continued, even the thunder and the lightning also came. They were not now frightened because all the three were together. Even the ruins did not seem so forbidding. Even in standing in the ruined place also, they don't even get afraid. After an hour, the rain stopped, and although the wind continued to blow, it was now taking the clouds away, so that the thunder grew more distant. Then the wind too moved on, and all was silent. Towards dawn, the whistling thrush began to sing. Its sweet broken notes flooded the rain, washed ruins with music. Now the rain also stopped, lightning, thunder also literally moved, and everything is going on. Let's go, said Usha. Come on, said Suresh, I am hungry. So now Usha is telling, okay, let's go now. And Suresh is also telling that I am hungry, okay, let's go. As it grew lighter, they saw that the plum tree stood up straight again, although it had lost all its blossom. They stood outside the ruins on the brow of the hill, watching the sky grow pink. A light breeze had sprung up. So now they can see the trees are not bending and doing, it is straight everything. When they were some distance from the ruins, Usha looked back and said, can you see something there behind the walls? It is having a hand waving. I can't see anything, said Suresh. It's just the top of the plum tree, said Binya. There were on the top, leading across the saddle of the hill. Goodbye, goodbye, voices of the wind. Who said goodbye? Asked Usha. Not I, said Suresh. Not I, said Binya. I heard someone calling. It's only the wind. Usha looked back at the ruins. The sun had come up and was touching up the top of the walls. The leaves of the plum tree shone. The thrush sat there singing. Come on, said Suresh. I am hungry. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Usha heard that calling, or was it just the wind? Okay, children, I think you have understood this lesson. We'll see in the next class. Thank you.